Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It's Thursday, July 23rd. I'm your host, Juliette Sali. Well, Australian stocks are poised to rise today. ASX futures up 72 points or 0.8%. US stocks wavered though on Wednesday, with investors awaiting results from Alphabet, Google's parent, and Tesla, which came through after the closing bell. The Nasdaq led Wall Street lower, while the S&P 500 fell slightly, and the Dow Jones index ended virtually unchanged. Traders also monitoring the latest Middle East hostilities, which led oil futures to settle at a 6-week high, fanning inflation worries. The Philadelphia Semiconductor Index ended up 0.4%, recovering from early losses for its third straight session of gains after 3 days of losses that had confirmed it was in a bear market late last week. Trading was choppy in Alphabet, which closed down 1.5%, and shares were down more than 3% in extended trading after the search giant hiked its capital spending guidance for 2026 by $15 billion after reporting the best ever quarter of growth for its cloud computing division, driven by strong demand from AI-hungry enterprises worldwide. Tesla missed analysts' profit forecasts for the second quarter and, for the first time in more than 2 years, reported negative free cash flow as the Elon Musk-led EV maker accelerated spending on infrastructure for its AI and robotics ambitions. After closing the regular session down 1.3%, Tesla added to losses in late trade, falling around 3%. Shares in Supermicro Computer, though, rallied by almost 20%, making it the S&P 500's biggest percentage gain on the day after the server maker said it had secured more than $60 billion in new orders in the fourth quarter. IBM also edging higher before paring into losses in the trade. It confirmed a cut in its full-year sales outlook that hammered the stock earlier this month. Among other movers, AT&T advanced 3.5% after adding more wireless subscribers than expected in the second quarter, and Philip Morris International shares were up by more than 3% after stronger cigarette demand helped the company beat quarterly results estimates. Meanwhile, Paramount Skydance gained European Union antitrust approval for its $110 billion acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery, after agreeing to ditch a film distribution joint venture with Universal Pictures. Well, the conflict in the Middle East continued to dominate sentiment after US President Trump vowed to destroy an Iranian bridge or power plant every time Iran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, raising the stakes in the war with Iran as Iranian allied Houthis in Yemen threatened a second vital energy route. Iran's foreign minister posted on X that the country would retaliate, saying our defense doctrine is clear: an eye for an eye. Any aggression against Iran, including our infrastructure, will compel a powerful and decisive response. The World Bank chief economist has warned that escalating hostilities between the US and Iran could reignite inflation and drive interest rates higher and knock global growth back to as low as 1.3%, down from their forecast of 2.9% and the growth that we saw last year. Interest rate sensitive 2-year US Treasury yields climbed to a 17-month high as rising oil prices stoked concerns that renewed energy disruptions could reignite inflation and increase the odds of Federal Reserve interest rate hikes. The yield on the benchmark 10-year note rose to 4.66%, the highest since May 20. The dollar eased slightly from a 1-week high after 4 straight daily advances, while the yen saw a modest recovery from its weakest level in nearly 4 decades as traders weighed the likelihood of intervention from Tokyo and the odds of faster rate hikes by the Bank of Japan. The pound held steady against the dollar as a softer than anticipated inflation reading did little to alter market expectations for interest rate hikes, and oil prices, of course, jumping as these geopolitical uncertainties persist. Speaking of oil, they settled at their highest level since June 11 on mounting supply concerns. Brent crude futures at $94.07 a barrel after hitting a session high of $95.47. West Texas Intermediate holding just under $87 a barrel. Gold hit a 2-week high, buoyed by the softer dollar and technical buying, and also following comments from US Secretary of State Marco Rubio that Washington was willing to negotiate an end to the Iran crisis, but Tehran was not serious about talks. Well, ahead today locally, it is all about the June jobs data, which comes through at 11:30 Sydney time. We also get quarterly updates from Fortescue, Karoon Energy, Santos and Sandfire Resources. Macquarie Group holds its AGM. That does it for the day ahead. I'm Juliette Sarli. We'll see you tomorrow.